Hello guys, time for another vlog where I talk about stuff relevant to the channel. I'm gonna put on a recording of myself struggling against, against Unreal, godlike rather, struggling against godlike difficulty bots in Unreal Tournament as a background noise. So this. Enjoy this, yeah. Um, so I have a list of talking points here and let's address them in order. So the video title is most likely will be I Hate YouTube, which is kind of a bold title, a sensationalistic one. I don't enjoy doing that is because it might be kind of exaggerated, but I'll provide my reasoning for that. I have come up with like 2 reasons. So the first one is events going on in my life. Like you could take today as an example. It's this lovely Saturday. I spent like 13 hours just doing nothing, but more or less watching random garbage on YouTube, and that's much, you know. I would like that not to be so extreme. However, it would be misguided or inaccurate to blame YouTube for this. I don't think it's like the root cause. It appears I have been having some issues with like depressive like states. In fact, well, let me tell you what I experienced. Basically, like a loss of drive to do much of anything, including stuff that is normally like pleasant to me, such as playing certain games. I don't really do that anymore. So it sounds like depression to me. And another thing that has been very distressing to me is the entire month of May. I just couldn't stop myself from going to sleep at night. What? I meant to say I just couldn't stop myself from going to sleep during the day instead of at night. And I tried to correct that, but like unsuccessfully. That was very distressing to me. Like you have no idea. Like it impacted everything in my life negatively. Give me a moment to mute myself. We have a lovely summer evening here. Kinda rainy though. I muted myself just now to take a sip of this classic Lubelski apple cider. I should, I guess, correct myself. It's hard cider. In Polish, basically cider means hard cider, and regular cider is apple juice. Kind of a bit of an aside, unrelated to anything. But did you know Poland, where I live, happens to be the biggest exporter of apples in all of Europe, and it's the third in the world, even after China and the United States. So we have a lot of apples. How do you like them apples? So yeah, back to what I was talking about. Depression stuff, issues sleeping. Yeah, like thankfully my state seems to be improving right now. All of May was wasted, even a part of June, but now I'm like, once again, I've managed to flip my sleep schedule around. But let me tell you, I have never before in my life have I had this much trouble. You know, I've had like sleep issues for a very long time, but it never took me this long to fix them. So that was very alarming. Yeah, so I'm, looking for professional, mental health help about this because, yeah, I can't do this alone. I'm gonna need help. Um, what else? Oh yeah, one more thing. Yeah. So there is like this condition I have called hypothyroid. Dang it, hypothyroid. Shit. Hypothyroidism, which is well, a hormonal thing, hormonal disorder, an imbalance. It's like your brain is, telling your thyroid to produce the hormone it excretes, but it does not really work. So you have a deficiency, and that causes a whole lot of problems. One of the symptoms is actually like depressive-like states. So, and in fact, I had a blood test last month, and it was shown my thyroid stimulating hormones levels, they were elevated, which is a bad thing. And I'm taking a blood test next week to confirm, or rather to verify the results. If they are still elevated, then I'm gonna need to have the dose of the hormones I take upped. Sip. I don't really like alcoholic drinks, but cider is one of the few things I can tolerate. You almost do not taste the awful bitter taste of alcohol in it. And actually, it has very little alcohol in it. It's like kind of like basically literally apple juice with alcohol, which is fine by me. Um, yeah. So that's one of the reasons I am calling this video I hate YouTube. And the other one is just kind of the recent news I've heard that kind of well they fit into the theme, but weren't what I was originally going to talk about. So you might have heard or not, it gets harder and harder to watch age-restricted videos on YouTube, especially if you are a citizen of the EU. Normally, like, you need an account on YouTube, and you need to state your age to be above 18, but that's no longer enough in Europe. Oh no, you need your age needs to be verified, which is the really spicy part. Sorry, I had to badge. I really wonder if this is actually 60 FPS. It looks so choppy on the second screen while watching side by side on a 144 Hz monitor. Wait, no, that's stupid. They're recording 60 FPS, so I'm getting frame rate drops. Well, this is the final take. I'm not gonna do anything about it. Unreal has been hard to record, and recording recordings seems to cause troubles, but whatever. So yeah, there's this age verification stuff now in the EU. You can verify your age in two ways. You can either show your credit card or your like driver's license or your ID. You need to send those to Google so they can know that you're not lying about your age. It's really awful. It really sucks. There are ways to like bypass that, but those have been getting harder and harder too. Like it used to be the case that you could embed a video and watch the embed like on Discord or something. That would bypass the age check entirely. No longer the case. It used to, you could in the past download videos via YouTube DL to circumvent age restrictions. no longer possible either. You need to provide like a cookies file that contains your like logged in YouTube session. Yeah, so nowadays you pretty much have to use a VPN if you want to not verify yourself, which is absolutely bonkers. You need to like connect from outside the EU. Oh, it sucks. Actually, one thing that still works for now is Invidious, which is this alternate YouTube front end. If you pass your videos to that, then you can watch videos as if they did not have age restriction, at least, you know, for the time being. And yeah, another news I heard, this is kind of actually an anecdote, but a friend on Discord complained about how after he updated Chrome, his ad blocking on YouTube would no longer work. Which is, you know, Google is an advertising company, that's how they make money. So technically you're not supposed to block ads, but still, like, you know. Anyway, let's move on to other topics. Let me check. YouTube has blocked age restriction circumvention. I've talked about this. Yeah, there is one more thing I might want to talk about. Specifically, where do we go, from there after? Like, where do we go when YouTube stops being like useful to us, right? I only know of PeerTube, which is like this kind of like distributed network of instances that can like federate, I guess. They can communicate with each other, and apparently like the selling point of that software is if you are, how do I say, clients, or, you know, people watching videos can apparently utilize some peer-to-peer transmission to like send the video data to other people who are watching the same video at the same time. This is of course to ease the load on the serving instances, the servers, because I read somewhere that the traffic to or from YouTube and Netflix constitutes like over 50% of all the like data exchange on the internet. So yeah, alternatives to YouTube are like mostly, I think, hindered by insane, like bandwidth or throughput requirements. That would be like very pricey if you were to run like your own centralized solution. But anyway, let me check my YouTube issues. I spend a long time on YouTube every day. Yeah. Underlying issues: sleep. Yeah. Underlying issues: depression, anxiety. Holy cow! Half of my talking points are about this alone. Well, we've talked about this already. So yeah, what's next for the channel? Yeah, obviously I should preface this by saying all bets are off in my current mental state, right? Quick sip. Actually, let me have another. Yeah, I basically, as the Undertale Let's Play kinda exemplified, I do have issues with sticking to regular schedule, and in the first vlog I also talked about stuff like doing Helsinki videos and Crime Cities ones, but those are ambitious plans that never came to fruition. In fact, I mentioned talking about Cyberpunk in a video, but I said that I made no promises. And you know how things turn out in the end. I made Cyberpunk videos where I ramble for like 4 hours without breaks. So yeah, until I fix myself mentally, in fact, it would be more fair to say that basically all my plans are on hold until I regain control of my life, let's say. But what I did work on, I actually have some recordings to back them up. Are well, two things. The first one is maybe more interesting to some of you. It's an Ace Combat 7 video. I've made one before. It's the one where I fly through the valley or a canyon in the stealth mission. The stealth mission where you sneak past the searchlights in an extremely loud fighter jet. Well, also spinning a lot. It was fun to do, except for all of the hours spent crashing into the cliffs. So yeah, I wanted to make something like that, basically a kind of a one-off skill video of sorts, like a showcase of high quality I want to say let's play of high quality gameplay. The idea is I want to play the mission 10 million relief plan, which is the bonus boss mission of Ace Combat 7 and its DLC. Yeah. The plan is to use the CFA-44 superplane with the ADMM, which is this, the CFA-44 is basically has giant weapons base. Weapons base. It sounds like I'm saying base, not base. Oh, those are homophones. Dang it. You know what I mean, I'm sure. And the ADMMs are like those missile pods with literally dozens of missiles in them, canonically. Even in this game, even though normal fighters in real life maybe carry 4 missiles, of course in Ace Combat you carry tens of them, but that thing is canonically, the ADMM is 3 pods with 30 missiles each. It looks sick. You need to see that. If you haven't played Ace Combat before, it's this. The CFA-44 is the coolest super plane ever, and in the missile spam that it does, it's majestic. It's a joy to watch. I think it will be genuinely very fun to watch, even to people who have never played that game. It will be an extremely powerful submarine, which is the boss of that mission, versus this crazy super plane that packs way more firepower than it should. But I have some strict requirements for that level. I don't want to just to record any attempt, right? I want to be impressive. So this is kind of going back to the roots of this channel, where I just kind of put whatever the hell I felt like, not in a series, not let's plays, not voice commentary, just just pure gameplay, no bullshit. So yeah, it has been an absolute nightmare to record. I spent I think 15 hours. I've spent 15 hours alone just attempting this mission, practicing for it over and over. It's really okay. It's not that tough. You can make it harder on yourself if you want to. The easiest way to beat the level would be to just kind of destroy all of the weapons on the submarine to neuter its threat, because it's always there. So if you take away its weapons, obviously gonna make your job a whole lot easier. So obviously I'm not gonna do that. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. What inspired me to make that recording to record that mission was the first part of it, which is like an escort mission, right? You have those 4 patrol planes, those big ones, like they look like an AWACS. They're quite big, and you have to. Well, you only need to save one to progress, but I'm not about that, of course. Let me take a sip. No, there are 4 of those planes, and I would like to save them all in the first part of the level. And believe it or not, the Alicorn, which is the name of the boss submarine, not an MLP reference, by the way. The Alicorn is like small time compared to the escort, because I think escort missions get a bad rep, and it's completely justified. They freaking suck. So I kind of just played that mission for fun in May, just kind of getting back to the game after like not playing it for a year, because I knew the CFA 44 was added in like a small expansion pack that I hadn't checked out before. And I really like the CFA 44. Like Ace Combat has a lot of fun super planes, like the Falcon, for example, or the X20S Strike Wyvern with its railgun and stuff, and fancy wings that kinda fold and unfold depending on the speed. But when I played that mission just once, just kind of casually, I perfectly, like without issues, I just saved all 4 of the patrol aircraft, and I don't know how I do this. I mean, in hindsight, I have no idea how I accomplished that. I made it look so easy. But then I tried to do it again and again. Let me put it that way. Reproducing that outcome even once, like saving those guys again, was a nightmare. Holy cow! It took me like 2 hours at least, and in total, in those 15 hours, I think I managed to complete the first phase of the mission, saving all 4 patrol aircraft, like maybe 6 times in total, out of like 100 of attempts. What it feels like. It's absolutely bonkers. Like you are swarmed with enemies in that level, and your allies do nothing. And you are expected to be pretty much in at least 2 places at once towards the end. Needless to say, I will be playing on Ace difficulty because, it's more fun that way. Difficulty in Ace Combat is really nice. It does not make enemies more resilient to damage, or does not make them do more damage. Instead, it's the same deal as in Unreal Tournament. Enemies get more aggressive, more skilled. I really like this kind of difficulty where the enemy AI just gets better at what it does, and it doesn't compensate by just sheer numbers manipulation, which is the lamest way to do difficulty. Like the least you can do if you need to play around with numbers, add more enemies. Of course, I don't really get how that works, but apparently it's a kind of a restriction or a limitation of 3D games. Like they cannot really handle more than 24 enemies on screen at a time. The first 2 Doom games you could put thousands of enemies on screen at any time, but unfortunately not anymore in 3D games. So yeah. The difficulty of the escort mission depends greatly on the on the difficulty setting that you picked, because well, it influences how well the enemies fly and how aggressive they are. So if I played on normal, for example, the escort would be quite doable, but on ace, it's near goddamn impossible. Like, it all depends on your route too. I've been experimenting, but the how much time do you have left? 46 minutes. Okay, should be shorter than that. Yeah, the only way to like do that that alicorn mission, the escort part of the alicorn mission, the only way to do it well is like, well, I won't get into details, but the path I found to work the best. Originally, I thought it had like 20% success rate. The other, 80% you just reset the mission from the goddamn very beginning again and again. Please kill me. I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah, it's miserable. But yeah, I verified the how do you say, the probabilities with time, and I actually think it's closer to like 10% chance only, or maybe even like 5 to 10% chance with the way I play. Like, it's it really sucks, but I'm gonna do it. But the problem is I keep upping my own. Hang on, let me take a sip first. Okay, so what's with the hold up in the video? Why am I? Can I skip that? Oh, okay. Where was I? I was talking about how that mission was absolutely awful. Oh, I don't remember, but yeah, 15 hours went into that. Oh yeah, now I remember. Yeah, I keep trying to figure out even more badass ways to accomplish that mission, but you know how it goes. It just the more complicated I make it for myself, the lower the odds of me succeeding are. Like, recently, I've come up with a brilliant idea. Like, the alicorn has this kind of flight deck, right? I don't know what it's called, like a runway, because believe it or not, that thing is insane. It's just not. It's more than a submarine. It's actually a submersible aircraft carrier. I am shitting you not. Ace Combat as a franchise is beautiful like that, with all of those, ridiculous, super. I don't want to say super weapons, those giant weapons of war machines. I don't know, like Metal Gears, basically. It's basically Metal Gear with planes and with less stealth. Yeah, so you how should I put it? It's basically like a tunnel-like opening in the submarine, right? And of course, it's just like, I know, it's like 15 meters in height. It's just high enough for a plane to fly through. So I've been trying to work in ways to weave myself through that opening any chance I get, but it's so gosh darn difficult to do, to line yourself up. It's kind of fun to do, but dang, it's gonna take me forever to get like an awesome enough looking playthrough of that level if I want to impress someone on YouTube. And yeah, it's kind of my goal. I want to get that to wow factor up, But I might have to ditch the you know, the flights through tunnel to that for that little mini tunnel in the sub, because it's, yeah, it's, I think it's too much. I would like to be done with that little project. Like 15 hours is kinda crazy. Yeah, I think I've talked enough about Ace Combat. So I mentioned two projects I'm working on. So the second one is well, my my little notepad file sums it up nicely. It's more Undertale. Yeah, I'm basically working on a second playthrough. Yeah, Undertale is a kind of game that, well, I said in the first Let's Play that it has little replayability, and well, I stand by it, but I meant it from like a purely gameplay point of view. But its story, it actually benefits from repeat playthroughs. So yeah, I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I actually have like 3 episodes recorded so far, and it goes much faster than the first Let's Play, because I am no longer so obsessed on like clicking on everything. I mostly focus on showcasing the differences between like quote unquote playstyles, or like, to be maybe more specific, like the kind of decisions you can make. Yeah, I think that's all there is to that for now. I'm actually kind of disheartened, because I don't even remember when I recorded those first episodes, but it was like I banged out like 3 episodes in one session, and I haven't touched Undertale in like weeks again. So, you know, that's it's not a good feeling. Like watching YouTube for 13 hours in a day, it's nice in the sense that you don't have to think, right? It stops your thoughts, especially the bad ones. But then they catch up with you when you are trying to sleep. So that's how like sleep issues arise, because you kind of start tormenting yourself about this stuff. Like, I think depression is like in part because like, or like I don't know how to word this, but I think you tend to ruminate, right? If you are depressive, you tend to overthink things. You tend to torment yourself by thinking too much, like about the past or the future. Like, genuinely, like, as the young people say, dead ass. I cannot catch up with this Zoomer slang. But yeah, like seriously though, I honestly think that there is good and bad. There are good and bad ways of to think. Like generally, like you don't want this kind of. I shouldn't get into that actually. Like maybe it will take too long to discuss this stuff. Let's not talk about depression. We've talked about it enough. So yeah, another point on the agenda. This is the second to last one. I wanted to do a bit of a post-mortem on my Undertale Let's Play. Just, you know, a quick summary, a short one, hopefully too. So yeah, look at me go there in the background of that video. Yeah, do the pelvic thrust. You know, I wonder if you can replace animations in Unreal Tournament. Imagine doing the default dance in Unreal Tournament 99, or flossing on your enemies. Or what else do you do? I don't know, whatever. So yeah, 9 gosh darn months for a game that takes like 6 hours to beat if you're playing normally. It was my first foray into Let's Playing. I had numerous technical issues. I had like 3 different computers I recorded that stuff on. You know, I lost some of my save data, or I thought I did, which prompted me to replay a part of the game. Oh, no more cider left. And the last episode, okay, I might have gone overboard with it. The last episode is 3 hours? I have no justification for it. I kind of jokingly said that, hey, it's anti-addictive content. This is the kind of stuff I would appreciate, right? Because it's so unbearably long, I would not watch it. Yeah, but seriously though. Yeah, it was awful. I don't know what I was thinking, not splitting it into smaller parts. Hang on. Can I? Oh, that was nice. Nice shot. Alright. Yeah, I guess I have nothing else to say about that Let's Play. Well, I was a bit more microphone shy at the start, and well, I never really stopped being awkward. Maybe less shy, but still awkward. And that's okay too. I could talk about how I have recently discovered VR chat, which I'm kind of using as a way to get more comfortable around others because, well, I grew up not really socializing much, but I won't talk about that. VR chat is fun though. I wish I had a VR set. I'm just playing in desktop mode. Like I found this really cool furry avatar that I use right now. You can be a giant white cat in that way. It can be whatever the hell you want. If you can model it in like Blender, then you can be that thing in VR chat. It's really nice. It rocks. Just kind of thinking about the whole adventure with that Let's Play gun. I guess there's nothing more to add. It was a it was a freaking train wreck. There is no other way to put it. The Jets and Guns Let's Play that I did in a single day was more successful than that. Like more like it was just better. It was focused, right? Not meandering. And you know, I made fancy thumbnails for it too. Yeah. Yeah, nothing else to say about it, really. Hopefully, if I decide to make more stuff in the future, it will be better. Hopefully, I will kinda deal with my mental health issues too. If I get professional help, that is. Okay, final point on the agenda. What else can I do? This is highly speculative, so essentially worthless, because I am very unlikely to do any of this. I had 2 ideas. One was getting into streaming. I happened upon that idea when, well, I made that absolute freaking chungus of a video. Is that how the young people say it? Chungus? Yeah, I mean the Cyberpunk 4-hour video. That was just, yeah, really bad YouTube content. Like, I say that I don't care about the stuff, but I don't want to put complete shit on here, right? That nobody is interested in. And, you know, a stream would be more palatable. Yeah, if I were to start streaming, it would be on YouTube, not on Twitch. So okay, I feel like a tangent coming. I'll try to keep it short. Okay, so Twitch is owned by Amazon. Amazon is owned by Jeff Bezos. Actually, I heard he's stepping down from CEO, but it's the same Amazon that has those so-called fulfillment centers, right? Which are like their warehouses. And I've heard many news stories about uh, people there being worked half to death and seriously mistreated, even in Poland, even in even if my own city. So yeah, I am generally against Amazon. I try not to do business with them. I um, I bought something from Amazon. It was like, look at this dude coming at me with a freaking impact hammer. Oh no, no, no. Yeah. So yeah, at least in the past you could buy without making an account, but that's no longer true. So screw Amazon. I'm not making an account to buy stuff, even though it seems to be a prevalent trend. I'm not actually sure what's the purpose for that, but I've even seen smaller services in Poland require that you have an account to do shopping. So really, it's mostly about. I don't really like to support huge companies like Google, but it's kind of like I don't really have much of a choice. It's either Amazon or Google when it comes to streaming, right? Either I stream on YouTube or Twitch. Um, and well, basically, I don't want to go back on the decision I've made. Like I used to have a Twitch account, but I deleted it after they got taken over by Amazon or like merged. What am I trying to do here? Just showcasing Barktooth's final taunt. Yeah, so I don't want to make another Twitch account. It's basically my rationale. I already have a channel on YouTube that I kind of work on, so I might as well quote unquote leverage my quote unquote popularity to stream here. Yeah. Um, okay, so let's continuing with the rant now against Google. Like I've been thinking and dreaming about. Oh, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Look at this. Look at this. An ultra kill. You never get that in God like on 130 game speed, which it is. This is the run. This is me actually winning because 7 kills to start with, bots failing to shoot me with the enforcer, plus 4 frags to begin with. It's bonkers. Yeah, the pulse gun with few damage is very good. But yeah, I'm not going to upload this run standalone on YouTube. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I was also thinking about putting some Unreal Tournament gameplay videos, like the Kuz Galleon one I've already done. Like more of the same, more of single player against bots on 130 speed. But I don't think I will do that. Anyway, so yeah, let's not get into too many tangents. There's only one left for now. Yeah, I wanted to kind of de-Google myself. It's not really something you have to do. Like, Google's business model is kind of fine. Like, they deal with ads. You give them your data, they give you tailored ads, and you get to use most of their services for free. It's a win-win situation. There's really nothing bad. It's a very, very good business model. Like, I have nothing against it in principle. I just am kind of paranoid about my own data, and I understand if others don't care. But yeah, it's been an adventure, and actually, it seems like I'm at its end right now, which I didn't think I would ever get there, but it's nice because it took me so long conceptualizing how do you even move away from Google. First it started with DuckDuckGo, which is like a competent search engine replacement for Google's main product. It's search. Then it was the cloud services, like Google Drive and stuff. I never really used that, so it was a bit of an extra. But when I discovered Nextcloud, which is this open source kind of cloud suite that you can install on your own hardware or at least a VPS, it was, I was impressed. You can have your own Google Drive or your own Spotify, except you cannot discover new music, only play your own. But hey, no ads. Or I forgot what else you can do. A lot of stuff. Anyway, so that's very very fun. I've always like it's a nightmare to administer after you've set it up because you have to double with configurations, reading the docs, take care of the VPS. Like you might say, hey, what's the point of getting a VPS if you are so concerned about your data? Aren't you giving it away to like another shady company that is not as well known as Google? And you would be raising a fair point. Yeah, it's exactly like that. But yeah, this is kind of a fun exercise. I've always wanted my own website. I'm gonna get it. This is kind of another tangent. I want to build my own homepage, not like a Facebook profile. It will come as no surprise to you to learn that I have deleted my Facebook a long time ago. I want to have my own, static HTML website, like they used to do that in the glorious Web 1.0 days. No WordPress, no content management systems, just HTML. I write myself in freaking Notepad or something. It's gonna be fun. I don't know what I'm going to put on my own homepage. I will just kind of roleplay as a werecat named Kadrin because I like cats and I like fairies and ponies and video games. Um, yeah, but yeah, it's just a hobby project of mine. Anyway, so I kind of was talking about de-googling myself. So cloud was, the second stage, and the final one was freeing up my phone, which I've actually accomplished like fairly recently, earlier this week, in fact. It's a mess. Open source software is so much worse than what Google produces. Like you just cannot compare. Like there's huge money running for like Google has so much to gain. They like they have so many people working on their code, and yeah, their stuff is just the best around. So you will be giving up a lot of conveniences if you want to switch to an open source operating system, especially because of the apps on Android are Google made. Like Gboard, their keyboard. You don't know how good you have it until you lose the ability to glide type easily. I could talk about it for longer, but I really should stop myself. So that was the topic of streaming. But yeah, in reality, let's think about how many people would be interested in seeing me. So, funny side note, my Undertale Let's Play, it lost me subscribers. I had like, I think 18, I have 78. I lost 2 in the past month. I think I guess they just didn't sign up for this Let's Play that I put out, which is completely fair. Like, I uploaded so much diverse stuff over the years. It's just there's very little like you know, my subscriber base has like probably subscribed for me for so many different kinds, and I've let them all down because I don't really have a single kind of point of focus. Like I don't really do one thing. I just kind of do whatever I feel like, and it keeps changing, right? So people keep getting surprised, probably not in a good way. Yeah, I was actually thinking about this earlier today. Like 78 people, it's an absolutely insane number. More people than I will ever really meet in my life, or at least get to know well. I was thinking, hey, that's 3 classrooms worth of people. You could hold like a tiny convention dedicated to me with all of those people if they were to attend. But like, let's be real here. Um, Half of those people are children, right? Um, of that half, 50% will be like bots, let's say, right? Or people who kind of just subscribed to me once and forgot. So that leaves us with a quarter. Of that quarter, half of those people, well, they would just not care to attend such a convention. No, I forgot how my reasoning anymore. But yeah, that leaves us with 12, of which, yeah, let's say 12 people. Yeah, actually, that's right. Let's say 12 people would be interested in going. So we have 12 people declaring themselves as. Oh, that's cool movement. Kind of smooth. This dodge, another one straight to the rocket launcher. Anyway, 12 people declare that they go, but only a quarter of them actually arrives. I calculated it differently before. Now it seems that I would be able to hold a convention for 3 guests. Yeah, I don't remember what exactly I did last time, but I was like 33% of those people would actually come. Either way, 1 to 3 people would actually attend such a quote-unquote convention. And I basically think that I could expect 0 to 1 person watching a live stream, which is I'm not salty about this. Like this is not like something I plan to do full time. I'm fine holding a job. So yeah, but what I do enjoy about the idea of streaming is it's low effort. Like you kind of can't really do any editing by virtue of it taking place in real time. Like you can swap OBS presets, I guess, and edit your layouts on the fly, but that's about the extent of it. But the idea appeals to me on a certain level. I mean, if you are playing a video game and talking to yourself, you might as well have someone else to watch it. It would be like the days of my youth where I would just kind of meet up with my dorky friends and we would just kind of play video games, or one person would play a single player game with the others watching and commenting, which would be exactly like, like Twitch chat watching me play. So that's one idea. The second one is I'm definitely going to spend less time talking about this, a Discord server. Like, it seems those two things go hand in hand. It would be also like kind of just for discussion, but without the live streaming component, I guess. My own Discord server, it's like I have no justification for its existence. So that's just a thought that will not materialize, because there would be nothing really much to discuss. I mean, other than the games I play, I guess. So yeah, I would have to be like way more popular to actually set up such things. So to sum things up, I am in deep shit, well, life situation wise, because of this whole depression business. I have never dealt with it. You know what's disheartening? Poland has a very bad reputation for just basically not being very friendly to like mental health sufferers. We have this kind of cultural thing where we are suspicious of like people who claim to be depressed or something. It's like a common belief that they are faking it or are doing it for attention to or to justify their laziness. But yeah, I gotta get help, and basically, I guess videos will stop. Like, I even have stuff that I could just kind of cut out and upload. Like, I have Trotmania videos I never uploaded, that like some full combos and stuff that would be nice to watch, but I never even touched them. So yeah, how do they say? The darker the night, the more glorious the dawn, and it's night for me right now, but I trust that it will get better in the future. So on that note, let's end this video. The first take I did was like 1 hour and 5 minutes, so this is barely shorter, but enough talking. So it's I wanted it to be 30 minutes. I failed. Too many tangents. Oh well, it seems that's just how I am, right? Long-winded. So thank you again, and see you in my next videos when they come. Bye bye. Nice timing.